Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from Computer Department, and today we are going to discuss about the revision of the chapter number 1, Basic Concepts of Data Structure. So dear all students, we have already completed our syllabus about the data structure, and now revision start from this chapter number 1, Basic Concepts of Data Structure. So first of all, here the question number 1 regarding chapter number 1, Basic Concept of Data Structure is that Introduction to Data Structure and Types of Data Structure. So here the answer of Introduction to Data Structure and Types of Data Structure is that the data structure is a way of collecting and organizing data in such a way that we can perform operation on this data in an effective way. And data structure is about rendering data elements in terms of some relationship for better organization and storage. For example, we have some data which has a player's name. So first of all, given an example regarding player's name as Virat, age 26. So here Virat is a string and data type, and the 26 is the integer data type. So data structure is what? It is nothing but is the way of the collecting and organizing data in such a sequential manner, and that we can perform operation on this data in effective way. So basic types of data structure, as we discussed above, anything that can store data can be called as a data structure. Hence integer, float, boolean, character, etc. So and so it's known as a data types, and all are these data structure. So they are known as a primitive data structure. Once again, which data types called as a primitive data structure? So hence integer, float, boolean, character, etc. all are the data structure known as a primitive data structure. Then we also have some complex data structure which are used to store large and connected data. Some example of abstract data structure are such as a linked list, then tree, graph, stack, queue, etc. All these data structure allow us to perform different operation on data. We select this data structure based on which types of operation is required. So we will look into this data structure in a more details later lessons. So dear student, about the concept of linked list, tree, graph, queue, stack, already we have to completed in a chapter wise of this concept. So next, here this one is the classification of data structure. So data structure classified within a two structure. First of all, built-in data structure and user-defined data structure. So built-in data structure contain as a primitive data types such as integer, float, character and pointer, and user-defined data structure contain as array, list, files. List is considered as a two types, a linear list and non-linear list, and linear list also considered as a stack and queue, then non-linear list considered as a tree and graph. So this is the introduction about data structure. Then second question from the chapter number 1. So second question is a primitive and non-primitive data structure. So primitive and non-primitive data structure consider as following here. So primitive data structure are the basic data structure that directly operate upon the machine instruction, have a different representation on different computers. So primitive data structure consider as a normally data type such as integer, floating point numbers, character constants, string constants and pointer come under this category. So it's known as a primitive data structure, and these directly operate upon a machine instruction. Then next, non-primitive data structure. So non-primitive data structure consider as are more complicated data structure and are derived from primitive structure. So they emphasis on grouping same or a different data item with relationship between each data item such as array, list and files come under this category. So this one is known as a non-primitive data structure. Third question from the chapter number 1 is the introduction to algorithm. So here the algorithm is what? So an algorithm is a finite set of instruction or logic and written in order to accomplish a certain predefined task. And we can also about the algorithm definition is that algorithm is nothing but the given a solution in a step by step, providing a very easily step by step the solution from the problem. It's known as a algorithm. So algorithm is not a complete code or a program, it is just core logic. It means solution of the problem which can be expressed either as an informal high level description, as a pseudocode, or using a flowcharts. So every algorithm must satisfy the following properties. First of all, input, output and definiteness. So input consider as there should be 0 or more input supplied externally to the algorithm. Output consider as there should be at least one output obtained. Definiteness, every step of the algorithm should be clear and well defined. And for one is finiteness, so algorithm should have a finite number of steps. And correctness, so every step of the algorithm must generate correct output. Question number 4, key features of an algorithm. So what is the key features about algorithm? So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure which define a set of instruction to be executed in certain order to get a desired output. So algorithms are generally created independent of underlying language. So note that about the algorithm, an algorithm can be implemented in more than one programming language. From the data structure point of view, following are some important characteristics of otherwise categories of algorithm is that search, sort, insert, update, delete. So search specify algorithm an item in a data structure to find out the data. Sort, it means that algorithm to sort data in certain order, as well as we can also say about instead of data as item. Insert algorithm to insert an item in a data structure, update an existing item in a data structure, and delete is algorithm to delete an existing item from a data structure. Chapter number 1 and question number 5 is analyze following terms. Time complexity, space complexity, big O notation, best case time complexity, average case time complexity, and worst case time complexity. So here the time complexity is nothing but it gives to needed time for completion a task. So the amount of time needed by a program to complete its execution is known as a time complexity. The measurement of time is done in terms of number of instructions executed by the program during its execution. Thus, the time complexity depends on the size of program and type of algorithm being used. Then space complexity depends on two memories, so fixed size memory and variable size memory. So the fixed size memory, it contains the space required for simple variable constant instruction and fixed size structure variables such as an array. And variable size memory, it contains the space required for the structure variable to which memory is allocated runtime. So it also contains space required while function is calling itself. Then best case time complexity. So best case time complexity is nothing but it taken a very minimum time for performing the task. So it measurement of minimum time that is required by an algorithm to complete its execution is known as a best case time complexity. So the time complexity of the particular algorithm can be calculated by providing different input values to the algorithm. So consider this an example of sorting n elements. If we supply input values that is already sorted, an algorithm required less time to sort them. That is known as best case time complexity. Then next, average case time complexity. Average case time complexity is nothing but measurement of average time that is required by algorithm to complete its execution. So it's known as average case time complexity. So time complexity of particular algorithm can be calculated by providing different input values to the algorithm. And consider an example of sorting n elements. Average time complexity can be calculated by measuring the time required to complete the execution of an algorithm for different input values and then calculate the average time required to sort an element. Worst case time complexity is nothing but it taken a maximum time to perform algorithm execution is known as a worst case time complexity. So consider an example for sorting an element. If we supply input value that is in a reverse order, then an algorithm required maximum time to sort them. So this is known as a worst case time complexity. Then big O notation, so it is also known as a upper bound. That means the maximum time complexity which will suffer by this program will be denoted by the big O notation. Then sixth number question is that array I row measure array and second is a column measure array. So in a computing, row measure order and column measure order are method for sorting multidimensional array in a linear storage such as a random access memory. So here the difference between the order lines in which element of an array are continuous in a memory. So in a row measure order, the consecutive elements of row reside next to each other, whereas the same holds true for consecutive elements of a column in a column measure order. So while the terms allude to the rows true for consecutive elements of the column in column measure order, then columns of the two-dimensional array as a matrix. So dear all students, this one is the example of row measure order and column measure order. So this is the most important question of our chapter number 1, data structure. So total is 6 question with its answer is the most IMP question answer regarding our GTU exam. So this all question you have to prepare of the chapter number 1. Okay, I hope you all are easily understand about the chapter number 1, basic concept of data structure. Thank you. Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from computer department, and today we are going to discuss about the revision about chapter number 2. Dear all students, we have already completed our syllabus about the data structure, but now revision of the chapter number 2 as a string. So dear all students, we have to discuss regarding the most IMP question with its answer of the chapter number 2. So here let's start. We are going to discuss about the question answer of the chapter number 2 as a string. So first of all, the question 1, string representation, reading and writing string. So first, the first question answer is that string data structure. So what is string? So string are defined as an array of characters. The difference between a character array and string is the string is terminated with a special character /0. So you have to remember about string is always terminated with a special character /0. So declaration of the string is as simple as declaring a one-dimensional array. So below is the basic syntax for declaring a string in a C programming language. So this one is nothing but normally the definition about string representation. Then next, second, finding the length of string with its algorithm. So how to find the length of string with its algorithm steps. So this all question very most IMP question regarding our GTU exam. So dear all students, you have to learn this all question with its answer in a proper way. So the answer of the second question is that This operation is used to count the number of characters in a string. So in order to count number of characters, we have to start counting from the first character in a string. So which is considered the first character in string, its index size of array as a 0. So the process of counting character is repeated until null character is encountered in a string. So because null character indicate, it means end of string. So here test is nothing but our string. So here test is our string. So now let's start counting from the first character of string. So whenever we start the counting first character of string, it must be counted with index size 0. So here s1 of 0 is nothing but string index size 0, then s1 of 1 string index size 1, then s1 of 2 string index size 2, then s1 of 3 is string index size 3, and s1 of 4 it means index size of string 4, and at last /0 it means terminated string, and /0 it means that here end of the string. Now let's start the algorithm step for the finding length of string. So step number 1, length is equals to 0, and whenever we start the finding length of string with the character, then repeat step number 3 while s1 length does not given the value null. Then length plus 1 and return length. So this is our algorithm step. Then here question number 3, concatenation of two string to form a new string with its algorithm. It means we have a two different string, and these two different string concate and make a one new string. It's known as a concate string. So this operation is used to concate. It means combine two string and make a new string. In order to merge two string, first we have to copy all character from first string into new string until null character is encountered in the first string, and after then copy of all character from second string into new string. We have to copy this all character of the second string into new string until it's also given the null character is to uncounted in this second string. So thus the concatenation of through string is similar to the copy of the string and then make a new string. So here the algorithm step, so you have to follow this algorithm step. So dear all students, you have to following this step for the concatenation string, and note that here keep in your mind you can also make yourself algorithm step regarding the concatenation string, but first of all you have to prepare a clearly concept about this string, and then you have to make yourself algorithm step. So now next the question number 4, reversing string. So reversing string, this operation is used to reverse the given string. In order to reverse a given string, first we have to find out length of given string, and then once length of the string is found, we can start copying character from one end of given this string into new string to produce the reverse of this string. So dear all students, this all reversing string, concate this string, find the length of string, this all concept we have to declare already in a video lecture. So you have to prepare this algorithm step easily from the video lecture. So go on my channel, so you can easily understand about this algorithm step easily in mind. And then copy string. So copy one string into another string. This operation is used to copy all character of one string into another string. It's known as a copy string. So this is a copy string algorithm step. Then compare string. So this one is a compare string step. Then converting lower to uppercase. This question is not necessary. It's optional. This question never asked in GTU exam, so this question is not important for the example. and exam. Then this one is a very most IMP program for the GTU exam. Write a C program for finding a length. So this one is our practically performance about the finding length of string, and this program is the very most IMP question regarding our GTU exam. And this copy string program also very most IMP program for the GTU. So this one program about copy string, and at last explain put and get character function. So this character function very most IMP for the GTU exam, put character function and get character function. So this one is a put character function and get character function. So dear all students, this one is nothing but our the chapter number 2 question answer regarding our GTU exam. I hope you all easily understand about this question answer. Okay, thank you. Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from computer department, and let's start. Today we are going to discuss about the revision about chapter number 3 stack and queue and chapter number 4 linked list. So dear all students, we have already seen regarding this chapter 3 and 4 all important topics in a video lecture series, but now revise these most IMP question answer of the chapter number 3 stack and queue and chapter number 4 linked list. So dear all students, here given the most IMP questions and with its solution. So let's start. First of all, unit 3 stack and queue. And the first question, linear and non-linear data structure. So dear all students, in a GTU exam, this question asked with 2 marks. So what is linear and non-linear data structure? So here the linear data structures are those data structure in which data items are arranged in linear sequence by physically or logically, either both of the ways. So for example about linear data structure, it means array and linked list. So linear data structure means what? It is nothing but store the data step by step. It means we can also say about sequentially store the data. So for the example of linear data structure is array and linked list. Then second one is a non-linear data structure. So non-linear data structures are those data structure in which data items are not arranged in a sequence. It means that whenever any data stored in a memory, it's storing way not proper. It means that data stored in a memory as a random. So we can say whenever any data stored in a memory not in a proper way, that's known as a non-linear data structure. So for example regarding non-linear data structure is that graph as well as tree. So next, stack. So stack is also defined in a GTU exam with 2 marks. So give the definition about stack. So the stack is nothing but a data structure in which elements are added and removed from one and last in first out structure. So stack also say about LIFO. So here the very most IMP question stack and queue of the chapter number 3. So this is the description about stack. We can represent as an array of a stack. So here the 2 types of representation. First of all, vertical representation of stack. So this one is a vertical representation of stack, and here the horizontal representation of stack. And then next, second one is push and pop operation on stack. So how do we can perform push and pop operation on stack? So here this one is a push and pop operation are easily understood by below this figure. So here one, first of all, create stack or a clear stack. It means we can say clear or empty stack. Then second one is a push stack. So push the data. Then pop data. Then here one is a push operation with its algorithm step. So dear all students, we have already seen about this topic with its algorithm in video lecture series, but now here revision. So this is our push operation algorithm. Then next here pop operation algorithm. Then next implementation of stack. So how we can implement the stack? So here this one is our program, but keep in your mind, GTU exam never asked these types of program, but this is for your practically knowledge. So this one is a push operation and pop operation with the stack implementation of the program. Then here this one is all program, but in GTU exam never asked these types of program. Then application of stack, this is a very most IMP question regarding GTU exam, application of stack. Then infix, prefix and postfix form of expression. So here infix, prefix, postfix we have already seen in video lecture series. This is the rules for converting how to infix notation to prefix notation and how to convert infix notation to postfix notation. So this is the rules, and here one is the example, infix to prefix and postfix. So this one all example given with its solution. So dear student, you can also learn these types of example from this video lecture, and let's start how to convert infix to prefix and postfix for yourself. So this one is the solution. Then here one is the algorithm steps about evaluating a postfix operation, but this is not IMP. This one is also not IMP. Recursion function is IMP for the example. So recursion means what? Function call itself. It known as a recursion. Recursion નો meaning શું થાય છે? Function એની જાતે call થાય એને આપણે કહીએ છીએ recursion. So the factorial function can be recursively defined as a below following function. So factorial n, it representation 1, and n multiply factorial n minus 1 whenever if condition apply if n equals 0 as well as if n greater than 0. So this is the factorial concept. Then how to find out factorial value using recursion function. So this is our practically performance about the find out factorial value using recursion. Then generate Fibonacci number using recursion. So this one is a Fibonacci numbers, and this is the Fibonacci number using recursion function program. And GCD, greatest common divisor function in a recursive from the following steps. So this one concept is also IMP for the example. Then next one, Q concept. Q stands for FIFO. It means first in first out structure. So this one concept is also most IMP concept for a GTU exam. Here one, array representation of Q. Here not two types array representation, vertical and horizontal, but both the combination vertical and horizontal make a one vector representation of Q. Then operation on Q. So here push and pop operation on Q. Then next stack implementation. So here the example with its algorithm steps for the operation on a Q, push and pop. So this one push and here pop operation. Then next here the implementation of Q, insert or delete operation. So GTU exam never asked this type of program, so don't worry. This is for your practically knowledge. Then trace of simple Q. So how to we can trace of the simple Q. So the following figure clearly indicate the push and pop operation performed on the queue, which will display the front and rear pointer position. So this one is a trace of simple queue. So how to insert and remove the data with its explanation step, then limitation of single queue. Now concept of circular queue. So we have already seen about also the concept regarding circular queue in video lecture series. So here this one is a circular queue. This is the trace of circular queue. Here once again this one is a simple trace of queue. અહીંયા આપણે ટ્રેસ ઓફ સિમ્પલ ક્યુ જોયું. ધેન નેક્સ્ટ હવે આપણે અહીંયા જે લાસ્ટમાં આપણે જે જોવા જઈ રહ્યા છીએ એ શું છે? ટ્રેસ ઓફ સર્ક્યુલર ક્યુ છે. સો ધીસ વન ઇઝ અ ટ્રેસ ઓફ સર્ક્યુલર ક્યુ. Then stack implementation of circular queue with its algorithm but never asked in GTU exam. This is the practically performance. Dear all student, you don't worry. હું તમને ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર્સ પણ આપી દઈશ ડેટા સ્ટ્રક્ચરના, જેથી કરીને તમને આઈડિયાઝ આવે, અને હું તમને PDF પણ તમને આ પ્રોવાઈડ કરીશ, જેથી કરીને વાંચવામાં ઇઝીલી રહે. Here one is the application of queue. This is the IMP question regarding GTU exam. What is the application of queue? Then next chapter number 4, linked list. Here one the most IMP chapter for the GTU exam, linked list. The pointer, we have already seen about this topic, pointer in a video lecture series. So this one is a pointer. So pointer is what? So pointer is nothing but it is a variable that contain address of local of another variable. So this concept is a variable concept. Here one is a declaration and initialization of pointer. Then a structure is very most IMP concept for the GTU exam, and this one is a simple program read and print employee information. So this one is the example using pointer and structure. Then here initialization of structure using pointer concept. Then next DMA, dynamic memory allocation. This one concept is also very useful for a GTU exam. In a GTU exam, this question asked, write down short note on DMA. It means dynamic memory allocation. So this concept is very useful. So this one is a dynamic memory allocation. Then here one is a linked list presentation. So this is a simple linked list and it's also known as a single linked list. Then next here one is a linked list example, types of linked list and basic operation on single linked list. Then here one is a performance about single linked list. So this one is a algorithm step how to create a linked list with example. So how to insert a node at the starting point of linked list, as well as we can also say about how to insert a node at a beginning portion of the linked list. So here one is algorithm step. Then end of list, how to insert a node end of list. Here one is the algorithm step about inserting an element end of the linked list. Then how to enter node between the linked list, but this one is not IMP. Next here insert a node before a given node, it's not IMP. Here one is not IMP for the example. GTU exam, inserting new node into sorted linked list is also not IMP for the exam, so don't worry. But here delete first node from the linked list is a IMP concept for the GTU exam. So delete a node, but which node? So delete a first node of the linked list is a very most IMP concept regarding GTU exam. So here one is example of linked list with its algorithm step, how to deleting first node from a given linked list, and here how to delete a last node from the given linked list. So here one is a algorithm step. Then next, here one is a deleting given a node from the linked list is not IMP, but here the searching node is a very IMP concept. So how to searching node from given linked list? So here one is a linked list example, and here the algorithm step about a searching node of linked list. Then count number is very most IMP. So how to count number node in a linked list is a very most IMP concept about GTU exam. Then circular linked list. So here one is the circular linked list concept. In a GTU exam we have to write down, if ask the GTU exam write down on a circular linked list concept, then we have to write down these types of circular linked list description with its example and figure. So this one is a circular linked list concept, and here the difference between circular linked list and single linked list. Then basic concept on doubly linked list. So this concept is a doubly linked list, and how to perform various types of operation on doubly linked list. So first operation, how to insert a new node at the first portion of doubly linked list. So here the doubly linked list concept with algorithm step. So here one is algorithm step, first node insert at the beginning portion of doubly linked list. Then here end of the node add up the doubly linked list with its algorithm step. Then here next between, but this is not IMP. Here one is also not IMP for exam. Here this is not IMP for exam, but deleting the first node of doubly linked list is a IMP concept for exam. So this one is our simple example of doubly linked list, and here one is algorithm step. Then here delete the last node of doubly linked list is also IMP concept regarding GTU exam. Then here delete node after given node is not IMP for exam, but yes, here the advantage and disadvantage of linked list is a very IMP concept regarding GTU exam. Application of linked list is also IMP, but last one, explanation of polynomial manipulation and representation is not IMP. So I hope, dear all students, you all very easily understand from this video lecture series revision about stack and queue, and also revision about linked list. Okay, thank you.